Have you ever wondered why some English speakers sound so natural, vivid, and confident, while others seem basic and a little unclear? The secret often lies in something small yet incredibly powerful: prepositional phrases. These short groups of words quietly shape how we describe time, place, direction, and so much more, turning plain sentences into rich, flowing conversations. In today's journey, we're unlocking 50 essential prepositional phrases that can transform your fluency. By the end, you'll know how to add precision, rhythm, and authenticity to your speech, making every sentence you say not just correct, but captivating. When you think about improving your English, you might picture learning long lists of vocabulary or mastering complex grammar rules. But here's the surprising truth. Without prepositional phrases, your English will always feel like it's missing a vital ingredient. Prepositional phrases are those small yet powerful word combinations, like in the morning, on the table, at the park, that give your sentences life, color, and precision. They answer questions such as where, when, how, and in what way. Imagine telling someone, "My phone is," and stopping there. Without "on the desk" or "in my bag," the sentence feels empty and unclear. These phrases are the magic brushstrokes that complete the picture in the listener's mind. Native speakers use them constantly, so constantly that they barely notice they're doing it. Every time they describe meeting a friend at the cafe, watching a movie on Saturday night, or walking through the park, they are using prepositional phrases to make their meaning clear and natural. Without them, conversations would sound robotic, stripped of detail, and awkwardly direct. Think about this scenario. You're telling a story about your weekend. You could say, "I met my friend, we talked, we went somewhere." That's technically correct, but it's flat and boring. Now imagine saying, "I met my friend at a small cafe near the river. We talked for hours about our travel plans. Later, we walked along the quiet streets under the city lights." Instantly, your listener is transported into your world. They can see it, hear it, and almost feel it. That's the transformative power of prepositional phrases. They also help you sound less like you're translating from your native language and more like you're thinking directly in English. When you can naturally say, "in the evening, before the meeting, beside the window," or with a smile, your speech starts to flow with the same rhythm as a native speaker's. And here's the best part. You don't need to memorize hundreds of them at once. You just need to start noticing them, practicing them, and making them part of your daily conversations. In this lesson, we're not only going to explore 50 essential prepositional phrases, but also break them down into clear categories: time, place, direction, manner, and relationships, so you can master them step by step. By the end, you'll see how these tiny building blocks can completely transform the way you speak, making you more precise, expressive, and confident. So, are you ready to unlock the secret language habit that native speakers use every day without even thinking about it? Let's dive in, starting with phrases of time, the perfect way to add clarity and detail to your stories. Now that you understand how powerful prepositional phrases can be, let's start with one of the most common and practical categories: phrases of time. Time is everywhere in conversation. We talk about when things happen, how long they last, and the sequence of events in our day. Mastering phrases of time is like holding a magic key to telling clear, vivid, and memorable stories. Think about how often you need to talk about your schedule, your plans, or your memories. Without time expressions, your sentences feel incomplete. Imagine saying, "I'll meet you," and leaving it there. Your listener is lost. But when you say, "I'll meet you on Friday afternoon," everything becomes clear. Adding that small detail immediately makes your speech precise and useful. Phrases of time cover many different situations. Some point to parts of the day, like in the morning, in the afternoon, or at night. These are perfect for describing routines. I usually go for a jog in the morning before work. Others refer to specific days or moments, like on Monday, at midnight, or by next week. These help you arrange plans and deadlines. "Please send me the file by Friday," or "the party starts at 7 p.m., giving your listener exact expectations. Then there are phrases that describe order and sequence. Words like "before the meeting" or "after class" tell us what happens first or next. They help your stories flow naturally. "We grabbed lunch after the meeting" paints a clear timeline. You also have phrases for duration, such as for 2 hours or for 3 days, which add richness. I studied for 3 hours last night gives a vivid sense of effort and time invested. Some time phrases show a starting point, like since 2020 or since yesterday, marking how long something has been true. I've been learning English since last summer. Others mark an ending point or deadline, like until tomorrow or until next week. I'll be busy until Monday, so let's talk after that. These small combinations of words carry huge meaning, and once you use them naturally, you'll sound more organized, clear, and confident. Native speakers use phrases of time in nearly every conversation, planning a meeting, describing a trip, recalling a memory. By mastering them, you'll not only make your own speech richer, but also understand others more easily. When someone says, "I've been working here since 2018, you won't just catch the words, you'll instantly picture the timeline. The best way to learn these is through active use. Pick 5 to 7 time phrases this week and weave them into your daily speaking. Talk about your morning routine in the morning, arrange plans on Saturday night, or describe events after dinner. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. Time is the framework of every story you tell. And with the right prepositional phrases, you won't just tell people when something happened. You'll make them feel as if they were there with you, living it in the moment. If phrases of time tell your listener when something happens, then phrases of place and location tell them exactly where it happens. Without them, your stories float in a vague space, lacking the detail that makes people visualize and connect with your words. Adding these small but powerful phrases turns flat sentences into rich mental images your listener can almost step into. Imagine saying, "The book is," and stopping there. That sentence is a mystery, but if you say, "The book is on the table next to the lamp," your listener instantly sees the scene in their mind. Just as phrases of time give structure to your stories, phrases of place add texture and depth, creating a three-dimensional picture. Let's explore some of the most useful ones. Start with those that describe being inside or within a space, like in the room, in the city, or in the country. They help you place something clearly. She lives in a busy city full of lights. Then there are phrases that describe being on a surface, such as on the wall, on the floor, or on the shelf. These are perfect for giving exact details. There's a beautiful painting on the wall above the fireplace. We also have phrases that point to a specific point or general location, like at home, at the park, or at school. These are incredibly common in daily conversation. Let's meet at the coffee shop across the street. Then there are those describing position below something, like under the bed or under the tree. The cat is hiding under the sofa, waiting to pounce. Equally vivid are phrases that describe above or over something, over the bridge, over the mountain. They suggest not only position but often movement. We drove over the bridge to reach the other side of the river. And don't forget phrases that describe being behind, near, or beside something. The park is near my house, or she sat beside me on the bench. These expressions bring closeness and orientation to your story. You can also use in front of or across from to position something relative to another object or person. The post office is across from the library, or he stood in front of me, waiting for his turn. Each of these phrases places your listener exactly where you want them to be in the scene. When you master phrases of place, you gain the ability to guide your listener's imagination. You can take them to a busy street, place them inside a warm kitchen, or position them under the shade of a tree, all without showing a single picture. That's the power of language. This week, try using 5 to 7 phrases of place in your conversations. Describe where you are, where objects are located, or where events take place. Combine them with the time phrases from our last lesson, and you'll be telling stories that are both anchored in time and painted in vivid location. Because when you can clearly show where something happens, you're not just speaking English, you're transporting your listener into your world. After mastering phrases of time and place, the next step is to bring motion into your stories, with phrases of direction and movement. While phrases of place show where something is, phrases of direction tell your listener where it's going. They add energy, flow, and a sense of journey to your speech, making your stories feel alive rather than static. Imagine telling a friend, "I walked," and stopping there. That's just a fact, with no sense of path or destination. But if you say, I walked to the park to enjoy the fresh air. You instantly create a picture and a purpose. Adding direction turns an action into an experience your listener can visualize. Let's look at some essential patterns. One of the most common is movement towards a destination, like to the store, to school, or to the station. They tell the listener exactly where the action is headed. I'm going to the gym after work. Then there's entering a space, expressed with phrases like into the house or into the water. She ran into the building to escape the rain. We also have the opposite, exiting a space, using phrases like out of the room or out of the box. He took the letter out of his pocket and smiled. Another vivid category is passing through something, such as through the tunnel or through the forest. We walked through the quiet park at night, the lamps casting soft shadows. Sometimes movement is across a space, like across the street or across the river. She swam across the river to reach the other side. This gives a clear sense of crossing from one point to another. We also have towards for general direction, towards the city, towards the mountains, showing movement in a direction without necessarily arriving. The boat sailed slowly towards the horizon. Height can also be part of direction. Up the stairs or up the hill suggests climbing or rising. He walked up the stairs to his apartment, carrying groceries. The reverse is down the road or down the river. We kayaked down the river for hours, enjoying the peaceful scenery. And then there's movement away from something, away from home, away from the noise. They moved away from the busy city to find a quieter life. Finally, you can express going past something, as in past the building or past the park. We drove past the old library without realizing it. When you combine these directional phrases with the time and place expressions from earlier lessons, your storytelling becomes dynamic and layered. You can take your listener from one location to another, guide them through a journey, and let them feel the flow of movement, as if they were right there with you. This week, challenge yourself to use 5 to 7 direction phrases in your conversations. Whether you're describing your morning walk, your commute, or an adventure from your past, these expressions will make your English sound active, vivid, and compelling, just like the stories you want to tell. Once you can describe when something happens, where it happens, and where it's going, the next step to making your English truly come alive is showing how it happens. That's where phrases of manner and method step in. These expressions explain the way an action is performed, the attitude behind it, or the means used to achieve it. They don't just tell the listener what happened, they let them feel it. Imagine you say, "She accepted the gift." That's clear but flat. Now imagine you say, "She accepted the gift with a big smile on her face." Suddenly there's warmth, emotion, and connection. You're no longer giving just facts. You're giving the listener a piece of the atmosphere. Phrases of manner often describe the feeling or style of an action. With care, with ease, with caution, in a hurry. These small details add big personality to your sentences. For example, he handled the fragile vase with care, makes you see careful, gentle hands, or she finished the puzzle with ease, lets you picture someone breezing through the challenge effortlessly. Then there are phrases that describe the means or method of doing something. These often begin with by, such as by bus, by hand, or by accident. Each changes the mental image your listener builds. I wrote the entire letter by hand feels personal and thoughtful, while we usually travel by train paints a different, more practical scene. Some phrases reveal intention or lack of it. On purpose shows something done deliberately. He didn't knock the glass over by accident, he did it on purpose. By mistake, or by accident show the opposite. I sent the email to the wrong person by mistake. We also use manner phrases to describe secrecy or openness, like in secret or in person. They planned the surprise party in secret, makes you picture hushed whispers and hidden plans, while I prefer to talk about serious matters in person, adds a sense of sincerity and closeness. By combining phrases of manner and method with the time, place, and direction expressions you've already learned, your stories gain a new dimension. You can now tell your listener exactly when something happened, where it took place, where it was going, and how it unfolded, all in a smooth, natural flow.
Here's a challenge for you this week. Pick 5 to 7 manner or method phrases and use them in your conversations. Describe how you prepared breakfast with care, how you left for work in a hurry, or how you solved a problem with ease. These little details make your speech richer, more engaging, and far more memorable. Because in the end, it's not just about telling a story, it's about making your listener feel like they were there, seeing, hearing, and experiencing it right alongside you. And with phrases of manner and method, you have the tools to do exactly that.